coach Allison McNeill. Allison, 10 points in the first, 76 the rest of the way. Is that how you planned it?
Not exactly. You know, it's funny. I was just talking to someone and trying to figure out why we started so tentatively, and he suggested, and I think he might be smarter than me, that you know, we don't play at home very often, and we don't have a crowd very often. And I think they just wanted to really play well for the fans and the little girls in the stands. And so I think there was a little bit of tentativeness because we did not flow like we have been, and it was a bit of a shock. And I took a little attitude adjustment timeout. And they don't really.
That's a polite way of saying it.
Yeah, they don't really need it, but I think I think that might have been part of it.
Yeah, well, actually, I was going to say, Coach Eberhardt suggested that perhaps the delay might have thrown you off your rhythm a little bit as well.
Yeah,
but it certainly makes sense.
No, and that's what I originally said too, and I think that may have been. You know, I would hope that at a national team level that we're used to those kinds of things, but it's actually going to be good for us because now we have to come up with some, you know, mental prep strategies for, hey, when things don't go exactly like you want, which they usually don't, especially when we're traveling. We're a little surprised it didn't go well at home, but you have to be able to handle that situation.
Well, we had a chance just to talk now with 17-year-old Natalie Achonwa.
Achonwa, yep.
I killed her name for the entire broadcast.
Achonwa.
Natalie Achonwa, 17 years old, didn't look it. How impressed were you with what she did, especially in the second half?
Yeah, well, you know, we had her with us last year. We had brought a couple of the young players in to kind of get experience with us last year and had no intention of keeping her. She was 16. And she just came out and impressed, and the veteran athletes were all like, you know, she fits. You know, a little tough for her socially off the court a little bit with the 30-year-olds and 29-year-olds, but they really liked her, so we kept her last summer, and she ended up going to the qualifier with us. And I think that experience in itself has just matured her so much. And she was 2 years in our NEDA program, our centralized program that doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately. And I think, I know a year ago I told her if she'd gotten in foul trouble like she did in the first half, I don't think she could have pulled herself out like she did, but she's matured, and so the second half, and I stuck her in a little bit at the high post, which is kind of reserved for our 5, and she's more of a 3-4. Yeah. But she's just sort of fearless, so she played great.
Well, I thought her and Tamara had great chemistry out there today, as did your starting 2 front court players, Chelsea Aubrey and Jordan Adams.
Yeah.
So how happy were you with that?
Yeah, and I thought, again, we started slow, but then I thought Jordan and Chelsea really got going. And Chelsea, I thought, you know, she really got us going. And we've got a new offense with, you know, put some wrinkles in and changed some things. And I think the older players are kind of adjusting to it. And Chelsea has kind of loved it. She can knock down the 3, which really stretches the floor as a 4 player. So she goes inside, but she's really, her game is outside, and she's a very good defender. So. 17
players right now on the roster, and I guess these 4 games will be sort of instrumental for you guys to decide where you want to go with the roster heading into Worlds next year.
Yeah, and actually I think, you know, we took this as a developmental camp. We had 21 into our first camp, and then we got down to 20, and then now we're down to 17. We'll probably in the next camp, we have another one in Waterloo, Ontario in September before we go to the Worlds, late August, and we'll probably get down to 15 maybe there, and then 12 to go to the Worlds. But there's not a player here that I don't think could represent us well, and it's going to be, and it should be that way. It's going to be the toughest ever that I've been involved to have to select a team. And goodness knows it should be. You shouldn't be able to make the national team by default.
Yes.
You know? So there should be competition. And we're finally seeing sort of the fruits of our development programs, because Natalie's part of that. Janelle Beckering's part of that. Well, I mean, all these young ladies. And we've got some that didn't play tonight that will get some playing time and have been playing in the last game. So we will use these games, but it won't be just the games. It's every day in practice. Yeah. And then also we have Sweden coming in, and then we'll head to France and Greece, and then the Worlds. So the Worlds are September 23rd to October 3rd. Well,
there hasn't been this much excitement around the national programs in a while. No. And both teams qualifying for World Senior Men and Senior Women. Yeah. The youth development teams, the cadet teams, tremendous success. How excited are you to be a part of this?
Yeah, well, I've been involved for a long time, either as a junior coach or an apprentice coach or different things. Probably, I don't know, I'm guessing 12 years, maybe 13, just off and on with different things. And for me, this is the healthiest our program's ever been in terms of top to bottom. You know, our cadet men won a medal. They won a bronze medal at the World Cadet. Our cadet women qualified. Our junior men and women. Our junior women came 4th last summer in the world. I mean, for us to be on the world stage at that age is amazing. It bodes well for the future. They have a long way to go, those athletes. Yeah. But I think, you know, to see us succeed like that on a global level is pretty amazing. It's been a long time, a long, long time. It's been about, I don't know, I think the women, last time they medaled at the Worlds were 82 or something like that. Yeah. 79, I think.
Well, the team looks great. I mean, Teresa looks outstanding, as she always does, as you know as well as anybody. But congratulations, keep up the good work, and we'll see you in a couple nights.
Okay, thanks, Paul.